All right, let's talk about something that so many of us have seen, and it is super frustrating. It's the case of the disappearing mold. You know what I'm talking about. It's there one month, and then poof, it's gone the next. So what is actually going on?
I mean, have you ever noticed this? You get into the colder months, and suddenly you see these dark spots creeping into a corner or maybe around a window. But then, as soon as the weather gets warmer and summer rolls around, they just fade away or they disappear completely. It's kind of weird, right? It leaves you scratching your head thinking, was that even a big deal? Well, that's the exact mystery we're going to unpack. Okay, but first, a quick heads up. We're not going to get into how to scrub it off the walls or what chemicals to use. This explainer is all about the why. We're digging into the science behind this whole seasonal mold thing. Because really, before you can find a permanent solution, you've got to understand the root of the problem.
All right, let's get into it. To solve this little household mystery, we first have to identify our culprit. What exactly is this disappearing mold, and what are its telltale signs?
Yeah, I'm betting this looks pretty familiar to some of you. We're talking about the kind of mold that pops up when it's cold and damp outside, and then it just kind of goes to sleep or vanishes once spring and summer hit. And it has its favorite spots, doesn't it? You usually find it in bedrooms, on walls that face the outdoors, and especially in those corners or right around the window frames, what the pros call window reveals. If you're sitting there nodding, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So, what's the deal with winter? Why do the colder months create such a perfect storm for this stuff? Well, it turns out winter has the perfect recipe for mold. Let's break down those key ingredients one by one.
It's basically a four-step chain reaction that pushes your home over a critical tipping point. First, it gets chilly, so what do? We shut the windows. Boom, ventilation goes way down. Step 2, all that moisture from daily life, cooking, showering, even just breathing, it gets trapped inside, so the indoor humidity starts to climb. Step 3, the surfaces in your house, like walls and windows, get cold to the touch. And finally, this is the kicker, that warm, moist air inside hits those cold surfaces and you get condensation. That water is the last ingredient mold has been waiting for. It's the perfect little home. And really, when you compare winter and summer side by side, the whole story just clicks into place. Winter is the perfect storm. You've got high humidity inside, very little ventilation, and cold surfaces. But in summer, the script totally flips. We throw the windows open, the air is naturally drier, and our walls are warm. Condensation just can't form, which means the mold's water supply dries up and it just fades away.
Okay, so it disappears in the summer. Big deal, right? No harm, no foul? Well, not quite. The fact that it shows up at all, even just for a season, is actually a really important warning sign your house is trying to send you.
And this quote really gets to the heart of it. Seasonal mold isn't about being messy or neglecting your home. It's a reflection of what's called borderline moisture conditions. What that means is your home is just barely managing moisture. It's right on the edge, and winter is just enough to tip it over that edge. Think of it as an early warning.
So, what is this warning sign really telling you? First, it's saying the moisture balance in your home is on a knife's edge. It's marginal. Second, it's basically pointing a big, flashing neon arrow at the exact spots where your building is weakest when it comes to moisture. And maybe most importantly, it's a heads up that you have a problem that could easily become a permanent year-round thing if conditions change even slightly for the worse. So here's the big takeaway, the best way to reframe this whole thing. Try not to focus on how bad the mold looks at any one time. The really critical piece of information here is the pattern. The fact that it comes back winter after winter. That recurring cycle, that's the real story.
Okay, so if this seasonal stuff is a warning sign, what are we supposed to do about it? Well, this brings us to the most crucial part, how to move past just cleaning it up and actually get to the root cause.
The goal here can't just be to wipe the wall and cross your fingers, right? That's just guesswork. The real solution is to switch to what the pros call an evidence-led approach. It's about starting to think like a detective, not just a cleaner.
And what does that actually look like? Well, it means you start with a really thorough inspection to see the whole picture. It means getting unbiased advice that's based on facts and data, not just hunches. The entire point is to pinpoint the true root cause of that moisture. Is it poor ventilation, bad insulation, something else entirely? And once you know that, then you can find a targeted solution that stops it from coming back for good. So, the next time you see that patch of mold creeping back into the corner of a room, try not to see it as just another annoying cleaning chore. See it for what it truly is, a signal.
It's your home giving you an early warning about its overall health. The only question left is, are you listening to what it's trying to tell you? Thanks for tuning in.